Hello, and welcome to Lunar Pumpkin. I'm Emily Kalcher. I am an astrologer, an intuitive tarot card reader, and moon lover. And I have a lovely guest with me today, who I will introduce properly in a second. But if you are interested in booking a reading at all, feel free to visit my website, lunar-pumpkin.com. Well, welcome, Marguerite. Hey.
Thank you, Emily. Very glad to be here.
So let me just read out a little bit about you so people know who you are, and we'll kind of dive deeper from that.
Great.
Okay. So Marguerite is from Kind Heart Healing, an intuitive astrologer, tarot reader, and artist. In her mid-20s, her partner introduced her to spirituality, meditation, astrology, and later tarot, which became a tool for her to grow and heal. When Marguerite bought her first tarot deck, the saleswoman said out of nowhere, "I think you're really good at this." And soon she discovered that she was. It was a language she already knew. Marguerite uses her own healing experience and wisdom to help people and show them in what ways the universe is guiding them to heal and how they can work with their own energetic makeup. So
Yes.
that's you. Can you tell us your big three in astrology and a little bit about how they kind of play out in your life?
Yeah, sure. So my sun is Taurus, and my moon is Gemini, and my ascendant is Libra. So my sun Taurus, and as well my ascendant Libra, both Venus ruled. And I think Venus plays a pretty big part in my life. I think, I love art. I'm an artist. I love everything that has to do with color, with just like images, but also relationships. Very romantic. I love to watch dating shows, and just like when my friends are dating, like I'm so excited for them. It's like, tell me everything. So I think that's really the Libra and Taurus energy. But also I have my Venus in Taurus as well. So it's but also in the 8th house. So for people that don't know astrology that well, the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. So it also has some Scorpionic vibes. And my moon in Gemini. What can I say about that? I love to talk. I am quite busy. Like I can do a lot of things at the same time. I am quite busy in my head. So that was one of the things that was quite difficult for me. And also led me to spirituality. I think it's also because my Mercury rules Gemini. My Mercury is retrograde. So what a lot of Gemini people have, like you are a Gemini sun and rising, right?
Yes.
Like talking comes very easily, and it's like so natural for you. In a way that is also for me, but when I was growing up, I didn't have I was very I thought talking was quite quite difficult, and I was always searching for the right words, and it was like more an internal thing, like retrograde planets are. So thinking a lot about things, and with the Libra ascendant, that gets accentuated even more. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, strangely enough, I didn't find it very easy talking when I was younger. I was growing up with neurodivergence, so I have what's called dyspraxia, so it's a coordination difficulty. So I would think about things I wanted to say, and by the time I actually got to formulating them properly in my head, the conversation moved on, or I'd go and speak and then I'd end up stuttering, and it was just kind of that weird thing. But these days it's a case of, well, actually, what I say does matter. It has value, and people need to hear it. So I think some of those things when we grow up, there's so many expectations we put on ourselves, and we have to realize that actually when we're young, our minds, our bodies and everything aren't formulated as well as when we're adults, and actually it's okay not to know everything. And even now we need to give ourselves a bit more permission to actually to be free to create, as you have done behind you as well with your lovely beauty.
Like Gemini is like so expressive and wants to express, and is also very like curious, like that's why Gemini can't stay with one thing. It has to do a lot of things because it's so curious about what everything is and how it feels. And like in my art, I do like, well, painting, as you can see behind me, but I also make collages, and I also did like more interactive work. So I would talk to people, have an interview with them, and right after that I would make an artwork about the conversation.
Wow.
So that was really nice. I did performance art. And so I do a lot of things, and I think that's really like the curiosity of Gemini, which is quite beautiful.
Well, yes, but also it's allowing yourself that creative flair and admiring the beauty in life and the sensual aspects of it that Taurus so loves and needs, as we say, near a Taurus moon, a Taurus moon.
Yeah.
But so how did you actually get to work with astrology and tarot and art? Was there something that came first?
The art was first. I really grew up like knowing that I wanted to do something with art.
Yeah.
I think my mother introduced me to paint with oil paints. She really stimulated it. And I really I was always busy with like drawing and painting, and it was really important to me. And actually, when I was at high school, I wanted to study psychology. But that was also because I was at the highest level of high school, and it was like sort of normal that you would go to university, and art school in the Netherlands is not university. So it was sort of, the thing to do. So I thought, okay, then I'll do psychology, which I still really love. But then I didn't pass my exam. And then I thought, okay, then I'll do art school. That was like, like coming home. Like, I think I have a lot of like planets that are retrograde. Like almost all my planets are retrograde except Venus. And I've really felt like at art school I could be myself, that there were like people that were also doing things on their own terms and wanted to look different and stuff like that. And that felt really good. And I also really liked philosophy, because I grew up with my grandfather was a minister, or I think you say it like that, Protestant church. And I wasn't like obligated to go to church, because my mother thought it's really important you feel free to do that. So that was really nice. But still, I grew up with the like belief that there was a God, and like, I mean, that's, your parents are a bit like the main persons in your life, so you think that's the truth. And then when I grew up, I was like, no, this doesn't really resonate. There's something I don't like about this, like really the heavy part, like guilt and blame, and so then I went to art school, and philosophy, I mean, it's so nice that you can really have all these kind of types of ways of think about life, and that they can exist next to each other, instead of thinking like there is only one answer and you have to believe that. And if you don't believe that, you'll go to hell. So I really love that. And I had some difficult times also at art school, because it was very conceptual, and you would say like, a Gemini moon could do that, right? But I'm actually very intuitive, and it was like, I have to think about what my work is about before I'm going to make it. And that didn't work with me. So I tried a lot of things. I went to like illustration, photography. I did a lot. And then I decided to quit, and I went to doing a teacher degree. Also, so I'm also an art teacher.
Okay, wow.
And that actually helped me also a lot to make my art. And it really is fitting for my moon as well, because my moon is in the 9th house. So that's quite a teacher.
Yes, the higher learning element of things.
Yeah. So and also like just like making art without any pressure of knowing like I have to earn my money with this. It was really nice, like balance. And the astrology and the tarot or the spirituality came in. It came in when I was at a very low point in my life, because I graduated from the teacher degree, the art school, art teacher school, and I was so insecure about teaching, and actually still also about art, making art. I really felt like I'm not capable of doing that and finding a job. And it really gave me this insight, like I want to have all these things in my outside world, but something inside is not working right, is not good. Like the structure is not good. So that's when I started to go to it's sort of therapy based on the human body. So really, it's not like when you go to normal psychotherapy. It's all about like talking about your
Sure.
thoughts. But this is like, how do you really feel? And then
Yeah.
I experienced like, wow, I can't really feel my body. I've always been in my head, and that was such a big revelation. Like, and from there on, everything changed. Because I really felt like this is the door to being much more happy, and like being more in charge, because I didn't really know who I was and was actually quite lost. Always like looking for up to other people to guide me in things, and when they had an opinion about things, I was like, okay, then that would then sure, then that's right. You're very sure about it, right? But I couldn't really feel like what 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 is my opinion? Where do I stand? And I think that's also very related to that Gemini, like that duality, and Libra, like always like seeing all sides of the story, but yeah, what is mine, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like the more I like, meditation was such a big yeah, was so good. It really changed me. And like also people around me telling me like, wow, you really changed. And I mean, that wasn't in a year, it cost time, but uh, yeah, I became much more self-assured, and um, yeah, knowing what I want. So that was really nice. Um, and the tarot and astrology, yeah, that's just grew out of that. Like I said, I had a partner who was uh, quite spiritual, and he would like have like books uh, in his room, and he was watching like videos about uh, meditation and stuff like that. And it was really funny for me because I could really see like, because I'm really focused always on things that look pretty. I want things to look beautiful and nice. And sometimes like spiritual, like uh, like that was a lot. Like, I mean, right now it's changed, but like 20 years ago, or like no, that's too long. 15 years ago, like a lot of like covers of books and how movies were done were like not that attractive. So I would see them, I was like, oh my god, what are you looking now, you know? And I really learned to um, look behind that, see beyond that. That the message is so much more important than how things look. And yeah, so my partner also watched like videos about astrology, and I didn't really understand anything, but I just really loved to listen to the words, like how like very layered it was, and about archetypes, and I really loved to listen to it. So I just like listened to it, and then I started to learn it very like organically, I guess. And that was also one of the things that I never had, like that learning is so effortlessly, like it's just going, and there's no one saying like, oh, you should be learning this or this or this. No, it's just like because you're so curious about what the planets mean and what the zodiac sign means, and yeah, that's and also about your like your own psychology. It's so helpful. So yeah, I really love that.
It sounds like astrology filled in some of those gaps then. So basically, when I was hearing what you were saying about going to therapy and it not being talk therapy, it being more about the body, I was thinking, but that's somatic, isn't it? It's the actual feeling. Where do you feel something in the body? Where do you actually experience things? Because it's all very well talking about things, especially when you've got a lot of air in your chart and that's what you're used to. But where does it go? That's very interesting. And actually, if then astrology says, oh, you haven't got so many rules that you have to follow, that's then appeasing your Gemini moon. So you've already done the layers of the Taurus work there of feeling into the body, using the senses, seeing the beauty, and actually expressing the beauty in the Libra side of things. It's, okay, I want everything to balance. I want peace. I want harmony. And then finally, putting that all together, and your Gemini moon says, I don't have to have such rigid, structured rules anymore. I can actually learning my own way, and it all feeds each other. All the things that you've been doing seem like preparation for where you are now in some way.
Yeah. I really love that also about the Taurus energy, because with my Gemini energy, sometimes I worried like, oh my God, now I'm doing this and now I'm doing that. Like, can I really create something in this world, like really build something that is useful for others and where I obviously can earn my money with. And that's so beautiful about Taurus energy. I really didn't know that, but like it felt like life was just in longer term, it was pushing me towards that direction. But I didn't really know that, but I really felt like I never gave up on art, although it was fair. I mean, I have had years I was totally blocked, and but I never gave up. There was something in me, like just going on, like that that bull that just goes on, right? And the same with astrology and tarot. So yeah.
So what kind of things can people expect from you if they go and have a reading? Do you combine lots of different things, or is it just say, oh, okay, we'll go just tarot, just astrology, or we'll just do some kind of art therapy kind of work, or what do you do?
Well, my specialty is the combination of tarot and astrology. So I really find that when I combine them, they really like go very well together, and they show the same message. So it's very like comforting for my clients to see like, okay, my chart is telling me this, and then I lay these cards, and actually like the angels, the guides are saying the same thing, and that's so reassuring. So I really love that. But I can obviously also do them like separately if people maybe don't like tarot. So that's and I also like when I lay tarot cards, I use oracle cards, angel cards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So do you use things like people's personality card, their life path, and that sort of ilk, or is it just literally you stick to the tarot and intuit things and also bring whatever messages come through?
No, numerology.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's not really my thing.
Okay.
So no, that's not what I use. So I really use the basic Rider Waite cards.
I knew what you meant.
And next to that, I have my favorite. Like I can show you some. I have the shamanic healing deck. I have this one is can you see like this?
Oh yeah.
Woodlands Wardens is also very nice. And yeah, just like words coming up from the angel cards. It also feels like a bit of creating. Yeah, just see what comes up, and I feel like I have to be like a sort of blank slate and just see what's coming through for people. So
Yeah,
I actually don't really use spreads like the normal spreads. I just like I really feel that the cards have their own like will, so I don't want to like and that they tell their story, and that's just like that's it, and I can't force them to to really do a certain spread. So
I'm intrigued. Do you want to pull one card for us, or however you feel? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Always.
It's like with any Gemini person, you have loads of things prepared and you like to learn things, write loads of words, and then go off script.
I had to learn that also, like going with that flow, right? Like
exactly.
Because Gemini can be lost in the details.
Yeah.
And the how, like how am I going to do this, right? And it's so good to loosen that up a bit, because otherwise you'll like be totally stuck. Do you recognize that as a Gemini?
Yeah, I do.
That's a beautiful one. All you can ever long for, I guess. Like wealth, family.
So what do you feel our message is?
Well, because I always feel that this card has two sides. So one is like a very positive side, like all you can ever wish for, wealth, money, career, family. But it's also about ancestry. I think because my name is or my business name is Kind Heart Healing, I always like really look at the roots of someone, like I see in astrology or the South Node, and I think that when you want to have wealth and everything, like your wishes fulfilled in life, it's really good to know where you come from and heal stuff from your lineage, because happiness can only come when you are fulfilled inside, and then it will automatically show on the outside. That's the way I look at it.
It's interesting that we get an earthy card, isn't it, on a Taurus full moon? Yeah. giving us all the abundance vibes and all that.
Yeah.
Mm. So talk to us about Kind Heart Healing then. How did that come about, the name of your business?
Oh, the name. Well, it was funny. It was just something that popped up in my head. And it was more like a sort of energy I liked. But yeah, I don't know when, but I got this insight like, oh my God, like my in my astrology chart, my North Node and Chiron are conjunct. So yeah, like in my life, healing and being drawn to heal myself is very important. And because have a lot of experience with that, I can help people with that. And with like tools like astrology and tarot, but also meditation. So then I was like, oh my God, this name is literally that. And yeah, I love that. Yeah. So and it's also my goal to be with Kind Heart Healing, be very focused on creating an environment for people that they feel really supported in healing themselves and get tools how they can do that. And like, for instance, with astrology, you can really see like, oh, this transit is going to help me heal. And I think it's so beautiful for people to see like, oh, this is not the universe giving me a bad day. No, this is the universe giving you a present because you can do something with it. And when you make that shift, life becomes like so different.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've spoken already a little bit about some challenges and things in your life, but the most healing tool, which one would you say was the one that helped the most when you were going through harder times of your own?
I think that meditation always is the basis of my practice, because it allows you to feel in that there is much more than only your thoughts, and that like 99% of your thoughts are just not true. And I practice different kinds of meditation. So I also practice like chakra cleansing meditation, and that has helped me also a lot because I'm very sensitive. And I mean, all those labels, you can call it high sensitive, an empath. But that was also something that was very difficult for me because energy of other people really wore me down, and I really didn't know that. And I went to a Reiki healer, and she taught me like this chakra cleansing meditation, and I almost use it every day because it's me. I mean, it just cleanses your energy, so you feel much more much better. And less like confused. And she also told me like how to, when you've been to a busy place, how to get rid of the energy, or you don't feel nice about it. So yeah, that also really helped me.
Again, it feeds back into the body work and the senses and everything, doesn't it? Yeah. Something I like to do is a chakra healing chant. I don't know whether you know those ones at all.
Can you say it again?
So I do a lot of yoga and things, and I can't remember where I learnt it from, but there was a chakra healing chant that I learnt, and I do that when I'm in the shower and things. But
beautiful. That's so nice. Like for Gemini, like the throat energy. Beautiful.
But I think it also feeds into my sort of spiritual practices side of things, because I have my Pluto in Scorpio in the 6th house. And the 6th house, for anybody who doesn't know, is sort of our daily routines, but also our health and well-being side of things as well. So for me, a lot of spiritual practices I'm very all or nothing about. And when I go in deeply. And for me, the water element of the shower, and then the deeper cleansing of singing or chanting and all of that sort of thing at the same time feels like it nourishes me from the inside out, as well as obviously cleaning my body and everything. So beautiful. Yeah, that's such a healing experience for me.
And how did you find it? Because of the yoga?
Yeah. A mixture of the yoga, and also one of the people that got me into astrology was a lady called Yasmin Boland. I don't know whether you've heard of her, but she's got lots of decks out, mostly oracle decks. Moonology is her whole ethos. So working with the lunar cycles. So a lot of them, what I've been doing was manifesting with the lunar cycle, and then putting some of that into my work that I do. But actually, I then from there, that's how I accessed astrology. It was partially that I was doing a lunar yoga program with them, French Canadian yoga teacher. And then she was doing this program where actually every so often we'd have different themes in a private group, and then we'd look at those themes as well as doing the yoga practices with new moons and full moons. And then in there was a tarot lady that came in. There was lots of different things that happened, and I think partly that sort of holding space in circle together, and also following the lunar cycle, then got me more interested in, well, what else can this do? And then I sort of found astrology from there, sort of like by chance, found Deborah Silverman's applied astrology course, and then I've gone on to study the London School of Astrology that I'm still in the final level of, and it's just like, oh, it's like a lifelong learning. But obviously with all the Gemini placements, I feed this there, feed that there, and then want to soak up knowledge in different areas, and writing and singing and journaling and everything.
We couldn't just doing one thing. That's not possible for a Gemini.
No, it's really not.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I also like what you're saying, like from one thing comes the other thing. And like when you're on a healing path, then actually you don't have to do anything. It will just turn up, right? Like it will just like, oh, you want to heal? Oh, you want to know more about spirituality? Here's another book. Here's another teacher, you know?
Yeah.
And that's, I love that.
I mean, one of the most amazing books, I can't remember its title, but the author is Judith Hanson Lasseter. And I think she was one of the people that was talking about a journey through cancer, but how she'd use yoga every day and the spiritual side of things to actually heal her mentally, and then actually that took her on a new path and things, and it was just beautiful reading.
Yeah, I should really read that, because I also have an illness. Sounds so heavy. Yeah, I have long COVID, so I'm also struggling with my health. But that's like also part of the journey that I can really see, like it's teaching me things, and that's really beautiful as well. So yeah.
Yeah, part of why I found the yoga, which then led to everything else, was because I was trying to heal pain. I was thinking, right, I just hurt. You know, for me, it's inflammatory bowel disease, so it's gut pain.
Oh, really?
And then it was, so then I was getting joint pain to go with it. I was like, this is just a gift that keeps on giving. But the yoga side of things is helping with healing so much more than I realized. And then obviously being somebody fascinated with the moon from childhood, it just, again, more layers peeling back and amalgamating together. And
yeah. So like that's actually what Chiron is, right? Like making something that is a wound your gift and your diamond.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you're proud of in your life or your business or anything?
What am I proud of? I think like the transformational, like transformation is really like prominent in my life. So I think like if you would see me 15 years ago, I would be like a totally different person. And like now with having this struggle with my health, is also like I really feel like this. Like half year ago, I was like in such a deep place, and I feel a bit like that, like how do you call it, the bird phoenix that's rising again. And like I have Pluto on my ascendant, and I have 3 planets in Scorpio, and my Sun and Venus in the 8th house. So transformation is like the ultimate thing in my life, and I'm just very proud of myself for going through these very difficult times and coming out like that. And yeah, I'm so grateful and appreciative of every time I can, when I have clients, I can show them like, this is, you're not doing anything wrong. This is the right, you know, like this is the right way. And that's really beautiful and comforting for them. So yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, that if you come from the spirit, well, if you're in the spiritual world, that you see pain and struggles as blessings rather than actual obstacles that are somehow failure or something's wrong. It's because, well, what is this teaching me? Then you lean into curiosity again. It's, oh, well, how can I grow through this? And it's like that saying of this too shall pass. It's like, well, whether it's the highs, whether it's the lows, or somewhere in the middle, everything has this transitional point.
Yeah, and I think also in our society, it's so built on these ideas of good and bad. Well, they actually are the same sides of the 2 sides of the same coin. So I really see it like dark and light. They are both equally as important, but we push the dark away. So we don't want it. And then it becomes a problem. So it's always part of our lives. But we at the moment we have like thought that it's wrong to have pain. It's wrong to be depressed. I actually think it's a very natural thing. But because it's not supposed to be here, we say it's wrong, it becomes a problem. And that's yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
No, I like what you say. I think it is a healthy perspective to realize that actually, yes, everything is there at its own experience and it's got its own value.
Yeah.
And it's whether we dwell or we actually move on from things, or we just say, well, that is, but it doesn't have to define who I am in this moment, who I am from the past, or who I will be in the future. Yeah, I think there's quite a lot in there.
Yeah, and I think also when you study astrology, you really see that everything is temporary. Like all the energies that are like when you feel like, oh, this is very intense. Like yesterday, the full moon in Taurus, like I really felt that, like that Uranian energy, right? And but I mean, I had quite a good time. But some people had I talked to some people and they were having a very difficult time, and I was saying, yeah, this is the full moon, and in a day you'll feel better, and just knowing like everything is just like moving and going and dancing, and it's just all okay. It's the labels we give to it, like this is wrong, I'm doing something wrong, otherwise I wouldn't feel this way, something like that. And that's like the beautiful thing of astrology, like it's yeah, it really puts everything in a bigger context.
Yeah, you can sort of stand back from something and see that higher perspective, but then also, if you want to, you can zoom in, and it's like, well, actually, where am I, and where are my boundaries to this?
How can I work with this?
How can I work with it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
And something that came through was that it's a reason and a season.
It's a reason and a season?
Yeah.
I don't really...
So, meaning that there are reasons why all these different transits, obstacles, growth, transitions, all these things show up. But they're also there for a season. They're not there for our whole lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just something that came through.
Definitely. Yeah. And like you see in the background, my painting, I paint a lot of still lifes. And actually the theme of a still life is about this like temporary like phase with flowers that's like only lasted a few days, and then it's gone. And yeah, that's what astrology also teaches us. But we get stuck into things and thinking that they will be there forever. And it can be a good thing or a bad thing, obviously, because the nice things we want them to last. But yeah.
Do you get lots of different inspirations for painting and work with lots of different mediums, or is there sort of one thing, like you were saying about oil paints, that you think that's my go-to? Because I know you were saying that you don't like to always think about a concept before you start a piece of work.
Yeah, I actually want to start like totally empty. It's a bit like a meditation. Like in meditation, you also want to be totally empty of anything and don't know anything. And that's how I started painting. So I'm also always like very surprised what comes up. But I have certain like themes that will show up often, and that's like the still life. I have paintings, portraits, but they are of people that lie down. So it's more like surrender. Because I really like this idea of becoming one with nature and your environment. Like surrender, giving up all that you know about the world and what's left. The third theme I have in my work is abstract. That's like really the essence of meditation for me, is like looking at the essence of what everything is, and seeing that there is that everything is energy, a bit like astrology. Like every day there is different light, there is different energy, and how do you catch that? It's all about spirituality, my art. Yeah.
So I'm guessing your partner loves what you do, and does he work in the kind of field that you do, or?
No, we separated quite
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No, I don't have a relationship at this moment. So yeah.
No worries. I was just intrigued because of that somebody had actually obviously helped you get into the path and been that sort of guide in a way.
Yeah, I think that's like my sun and Venus are in the 8th house, and I really feel that I learn a lot from my relationships. That can be very nice, but also quite difficult. What was your question?
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, you were like curious because he brought me like yeah. Like I said, like relationships are like because the 8th house is also about transformation, right? So you really transform because of your intimate relationship with someone else. And you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So how do you manifest any goals or dreams and things that you have into your work and stay consistent with that sort of thing?
Yeah. Well, obviously now it's for me quite because of my illness, I haven't been working a lot, but I also feel like because it's such a transformational phase, I'm starting to like getting out of the cocoon, so to say, like doing this YouTube live. And so the transformation part is very, very important for me, because when I'm in that cocoon, I'm working on letting go of my beliefs. I've done that like this year, like a lot, and I'm starting now to feel like the difference. and it's amazing because your beliefs are at the heart of if you want to manifest something in your world and you don't believe you can do it, or you have low self-esteem. I mean, we all have that, but how do you change those beliefs? I always knew like, oh, I have such a strong negative beliefs about myself, but how do I let them go, right? So really have a good technique to work with those beliefs is very important. And that's like a lot of people are talking about how you can manifest things by like visualization, and that's obviously very beautiful, and also like you said, like with the moon phases can really help. But for me, what I learned is when you let go of those beliefs, it almost goes spontaneously, or at least with me. Maybe because I'm already an artist and my imagination is quite evolved. I don't know. But it really like then you automatically you go in this, because you're so like positive about your desires, and it just like instantly manifests. So and also my Jupiter. So for people that don't know astrology that well, Jupiter is the planet of success, you could say. And you can really like look at that planet in your chart to see like, okay, how can I work with it? So for me, the Jupiter is retrograde, like all my planets.
Surprise, surprise.
And it's in Capricorn, which is also not a very good sign to be in. But that's that aside. I think that like for first like internal happiness is very important for me. So then I will want to work very hard for something that will make me, that's only the reason why I do it, it won't work for me. So it must come from this internal happiness. And so that's really the retrograde. I think people with Jupiter retrograde really first should look at how can I be happy? How can I feel this feeling of happiness? And then they will manifest everything they want. And it's in Capricorn. Capricorn is really about structure and putting in the work every day. So really have this, like, if it's only like one little thing you do every day, it will really give you the reward after some time. So that's that's really beautiful.
Yeah, I know what you mean actually. I'm often talking about aligned action steps. So something's aligned. It's you're expanding the joy factor, you're expanding the curiosity.
Yeah. Joy is also very important.
Well, that's for me, that's what Jupiter suggests. You expand things, but you also realize that what you expand it's not always sunshine and light. They can be the darker side of things that but as you say, the dark helps us realize and appreciate more of the light, and that we need both to counteract each other. So expanding the joy, expanding the
well, my
horizons.
MC is in Leo, so that's also like a very big energy for my career. like just like when I was totally blocked in my creative process, I just went on like cleaning my studio, but then having fun with it, right? Just like, oh, this is a nice material. Oh, like, oh, this is a photo, and then it would just naturally like go into an artwork, and that's joy. Like it's very spontaneous and creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share that we haven't covered, or how people can work with you, etc.?
How people can work with me? My Instagram. Can take a look at it, and you can always send me a message on Instagram. And I have a web shop, Ko-fi web shop, so you can see all my how do you call it? Offers, all my offers.
Yeah, your services, your offers, your artwork. You've got two, haven't you? You've got an artist Instagram as well, haven't you?
Yeah. You can also look that up as well. Yeah. So do I want to say something about that? I've got different offers like normal, like tarot readings and astrology, but also the transits. I also do a chakra healing reading, not reading, session. And in the future, there will be lots more to come. So it's like Mars in Cancer is going retrograde in my 10th house. So I think that will be a period where I'm going to produce some beautiful things for the future. And in a few months, you can see it. So looking forward to that. Really helping people heal and support them in their healing journey. So
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me, Marguerite. You're welcome to stick around behind the scenes for a bit if you want to. But I think we'll wrap up around here and say thank you to anybody who's watched us now or in the future. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily, for having me. It was really a pleasure.